I'm going to start recording here, and I'm going to share my screen to get started. Just going to do a quick little intro here before we get started with the presentations. Rohan, can you give me a thumbs up? Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. Alrighty, well, like I said, welcome to the first group workout for the LISC Digital Growth Accelerator, or the group presentations. So first things first, and just in terms of some logistics, for the business owners on the call, can you please just rename yourself for Zoom? Put your first name underscore your business name. It'll be a lot easier for us to identify you and to also put you into the correct breakout room. And then for the student teams, if you could put your first name underscore your school and your team number. So for example, I would put Adam underscore Halt 1 if I was on Halt 1. Like I said, this will just make it easier for us to identify you guys and put you into breakout rooms. Number two, if you could please turn on your cameras. It would be fantastic to be able to see your smiling and beautiful faces, and so that we can interact kind of face to face. And then we ask that if you are not talking, please put your microphone on mute, just so that you do not distract those that are talking or presenting. Number three, we always have the chat box available for questions and comments. So if you have any, you can open up the chat box and put your comments or questions in there at any time. And finally, guys, let's have some fun, right? We're here to learn from each other. We're here to give you guys the students are here to present to their clients for the first time. And so there's no need to be super nervous. We're all here to learn from each other and to get better. And so really excited to see the presentations and help each other out here. Just quickly want to go over the objectives. So the objectives for this call are pretty straightforward. Number one is to present the deliverables for the Improve Current Business week 1. Number two is to receive feedback and accelerate the creation of outputs. So we want to collaborate with each other. Number three is we want to share ideas with one another. And number four, like I said, we want to learn side by side and collaborate with each other, making each other better and improving every single time that we do this. In terms of the format, it's a very, very simple agenda. So the first thing is 5 minutes of setting the expectations. So that's just me right now going over these first few slides. We're quickly going to break out into 3 different groups. So you're just going to be in a small group with about 5 clients and 5 student teams, or 4 teams. And essentially each team is going to have 10 minutes for a total time slot. So they're going to have 7 minutes to present, followed by 3 minutes of questions or comments from their client. So each student team will present the company background, the personas that they've created, just an overview, their insights that they've gathered from doing the journey map exercise, and then their preliminary solutions and recommendations for the things that are not working well that they've identified. So after that, we're going to move just quickly into a wrap up. So you're going to break out very shortly into 3 different groups. We're going to do the presentations, and then you're going to do a wrap up inside those breakout rooms. And so when your breakout room is done, we will not bring you back to the main room. You'll just end the presentation or the session at that point, and then we'll give you guys clear next steps in terms of going into the next week. So for today, we've got 3 groups, like I said. So we've got food and beverage, retail, and professional services. So Rohan Sakpal is going to be leading food and beverage, Gerardo Bastos, retail, and then me, Adam Beaumier, leading the professional services sector. So this is the order that we've got the teams presenting in for each of the groups. And when we go to your breakout room, your mentor or the person who's leading that group will make sure that you guys know the order of the presentations. The last thing here, just to get your mind going, is while we're going through these presentations, the clients and those that are watching should think of these questions just to get you started, and you can think of others as well. But number one is, are these the right challenges for your business? Has the student team correctly identified what you're really struggling with as a business? Number two, are these the right personas? Are there any key personas that are missing, right? So we're trying to hone in on those personas that are related to your challenges. Number three, did the consulting team map all the correct pain points for the personas? So one thing that's very important with the personas and the journey maps is trying to identify the pain points and how we can solve those. And number 4, are the potential solutions aligned with solving these pain points? So think of these questions as your team's presenting, jot down notes if you've got a notebook there, or type your questions and your comments in the chat. You will definitely have the opportunity to make those comments during the Q&A period. I see we've got a couple things going on in the chat, Rohan or Cami, or do we have any questions that we need to immediately address before we break out?
Someone wants to see the last slide, the previous slide.
Someone wants to see the last slide.
This one here.
I guess it's Sally.
I had not really a question, but just a concern. So when we were, mapping everything out on Eureka, we noticed that there was a PowerPoint tool in the top right corner. I was just wondering if that tool is to export all the information that's on the website, or is that just to open up PowerPoint for you and then you fill it out yourself?
So it actually does export. So it does export the information from Eureka to our PowerPoint version. But that is like a starting point for all those consulting teams to work from.
Yeah. So that didn't really work for us.
Okay.
Just thought you should know that.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for bringing it up. And we've been working with our software team this morning to try and get that solved as soon as possible for you guys.
Oh, no problem.
My suggestion, Andres, if you have an issue, just send in the chat box and we can take care of it straight away, because we have software team who is working 24 hours. So if you have an issue, just send in a chat and we can take care of it immediately.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments or concerns, Rohan, before we?
No, that's good. I think we should not spare any more time here and go into breakout rooms. I put the questions there, and they will be available for the clients in the chat. So you guys can see the questions. And while we review the presentations, just think of these questions to provide the feedback to the teams. But good luck to all of you.
All righty, sounds good. Thank you, Rohan. And
Camila, you're ready?
Yeah, Cami, are you ready to bring this out?
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
Just give me a sec. Wait, not something. Something happened. I think the people joined with other emails, so just give me a sec.
Sure.
Okay.
While Cami is doing that, Ines, did you put a coffee background just because you have a coffee client?
Yes, I did. I thought it was a great way to promote the business and promote what they do. So great opportunity to showcase.
I like it. I like it.
Thank you, Ines. Looks beautiful. Looks awesome.
Thank you.
It's branding, right? We got to use it when we can. How's it going, Cami?
I'm working on it. Just give me 3 minutes and I will send you to the rooms. Give me a second, please.
Sure.
And I'll help you out with these as well.
So how's everybody doing this afternoon?
Great. How are you doing? Well?
Doing well, thanks.
Wow. Good.
Yeah, Rohan, it's not afternoon for him, right, Rohan?
Yes.
What time is it in India now?
It's almost 10 p.m.
It's tough
Frank,
not to be
good to
good
see
on
you
the
there.
Friday.
Where are you,
Happy
Rohan?
Friday.
Which part of?
I'm from Mumbai.
Oh, okay. Things are getting better. in Mumbai, and yeah.
Kind of better, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have been really worse.
I was just speaking to my Indian co-packer. So we do the toothpaste in India, and you know, he was just giving me the information. It's horrible there. And I go to Delhi when I go there, and then I fly to Mumbai, then drive to Silvassa, which is
Right.
where I do the processing.
Packaging, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't go 2020, but normally I would go about 4 to 5 times a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Next time you come to Mumbai, let me know.
I sure will. Yeah, hopefully this thing will clear up soon.
Yeah, we all hope so. Yeah, but I think it's in a month it should get better. I think we have seen the worst already. So because of the restrictions and the lockdown, the cases are tapering down.
Good.
And the vaccination will start soon. So
good.
Nice background there, Tarun. Meal mantra, I can see it.
Thank you. Yeah.
You have got an amazing product. The Indian sauces and curries, I'm sure there's a lot of demand.
There is, yeah. And I think good products are kind of, in short supply.
I feel like I know you.
Maybe?
Taran? Yeah, mantra meal. I feel like I have some of your stuff. Yeah.
Do you go to the fancy food show?
We do. But
Yeah,
last summer, nobody went, but
No.
well,
The year before I was there, 2019. I think
year before we were there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Do
were
you
in
go to the one
Massachusetts.
in San Francisco or the New York one?
I go to the one in New York, but I did the 2018 San Francisco.
Yeah, I was there as well. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I know you. All right. Yeah.
Tarun's being modest. He's a multi-year Sophie Award winner. So
yeah.
probably why.
Yeah, God's been kind.
Yeah.
But kudos to you, Ivy. You have a great memory. I mean, 3 years back you saw him. And
I do. I'm like, wait, I have that stuff. I always support, like to support businesses that I meet, the owners. And so I go off and I buy it. So, yeah. And I love curry because I'm Jamaican. It's a little different. Your curry is a little different from the Jamaican curry, but it's still curry.
Yeah. I have a lot of Jamaican friends. I love the food.
Yes.
Yeah. One of them being my friend who makes the best hot sauce.
I just made some. We have the jerk seasoning. Yep, I sell it. So, and I make it and sell it. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. So I
was the fancy food show?
All right.
How was the fancy food show? If you can share a little bit about that. I haven't been. I heard about it.
Oh, my bad. So, you become a member. They give you an application through New York, and they kind of vet your company, and you become a member. And they have 2 shows a year. They have one in New York and one in San Francisco in the US. But they also have shows in Europe because I've been to the one in the UK as well. And basically, it's like hundreds and thousands of vendors. It's the biggest gathering of. Right. Yeah, it's huge. So it's miles and miles of, getting, and what is it? Mostly wholesale buyers and, people come for wholesale purchases.
Yeah, specialty foods and novel.
Okay, guys, I think we're ready. Sorry to interrupt. I think we're ready. I will send you to your room so you can start with the sharing, okay?
Thank you, Camila. I think we were having great discussion. We should continue that maybe in our networking event on Thursdays.
Yeah, just if you can email me if somebody needs an information. I have wealth of information.
Always glad. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I will start right now.
Thanks, Cami.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Adam, how are you?
Yeah, good. How are you guys doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Yeah, sorry about the delay here. Star, I just got your message. So yes, we can put you last. No worries.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. So hopefully we'll get everybody to join quite quickly and we can just jump right into the presentations. So we've got a lot of students here. I don't see the clients. So let's see. I'm just trying to get people in. They'll come to me. There we go. Hi, Felipe.
Hey everyone, how are you? Sorry for being late.
Good. How are you doing?
All good, thanks.
Good, good. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are here. We've got some people sort of
stuck in the space-time continuum, the quantum leap.
Stuck a little bit.
Just,
we got them coming.
I'm stuck in a Zoom room and I can't get out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that's funny. All righty. So we're waiting for Ed. Are you here too? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Perfect. Okay, fantastic. And Clara seems to be stuck. She's assigned to a room, but she's just stuck in limbo. So I'm not sure if she's coming. So she should be coming. All right. So yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties. Sometimes even we use Zoom every day and sometimes it just doesn't want to be our friend, unfortunately. But I'm super happy you guys are here. Clara, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can.
All right, perfect. All righty, so we have the first team up is Hulk Team 1, and their client is Affordable Green Movers, which is Ed Santos. So if you guys, one of you want to share your screen, perfect. And when you guys get started, I'll start the 7-minute timer. And then 3 minutes of Q&A from everybody and including Ed afterwards.
Thank you, Adam. So I'm gonna start now.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, this is Andres and we are gonna show you the customer journey for Affordable Green Movers. As Adam mentioned already, the owner is Eddie Nelson Santos. Our team is Felipe Dominguez, Juan Caro, and your speaker, Andres Feng. So just to go really quick over our agenda is we're gonna start with the business mission, values, their offerings. Then we're moving into, what are their strengths and weaknesses. We're gonna pinpoint the customer journey, and then we're gonna find the key gaps. So the first thing, who are they? Our mission is to become a leading company that contributes to the environment with one moving at a time. We have identified 3 business values. The first one, provide great customer service above anything. The second one is to make a positive impact in the environment. And the third one is to create a long-lasting relationship with partners. The service that we provide is first, the moving service, either B2C or at some extent B2B. And the second one is a little bit less known, but it's an opportunity for us and is providing storage for customers who are moving out but don't really have a place yet, but then they also want to have it storing the items for them. So 3 specific strengths and weaknesses that we have found through our research. First one is customer service. On the strength side, we think that Ed and his team provides a really top-notch customer service. Second one, the sustainability aspect of the company. And third one, the service efficiency. Ed was telling us that, in one day, sometimes they can do 2 services at a time. Weaknesses. So these are the 3 main weaknesses that we pinpointed. The first one, the digital leverage. We believe that there's a weak digital presence from the company. The second one is employee retention. So one thing that we were discussing with Ed is that the hiring process is a little bit too difficult, and then it basically takes a lot of time, and some of the employees are basically leaving the job without just not coming to work sometimes. And third one is automation and service optimization. This is something that we're gonna talk about a little bit later. But yeah, these are the three weaknesses. So let's look at the customer journey. The first customer journey that we have is this one. It starts with the customer saying, yeah, I'm gonna move. So when the person decides that he or she's gonna move, she creates a forecast budget for that. Then she goes online, starts looking at her options. She finds like the top three that meets what the needs she wants. Then we hopefully, by that time, AGM, Affordable Green Movers, are on the top three. Then she goes into the website of her company. She clicks on a form. She fills out the information, and then she tries to schedule a meeting or a call with it. From that point, if things go right, she's gonna pay the deposit, which is a non-refundable one, and then the service is gonna happen after that, and the customer is gonna get to her new house, and the service is gonna happen at that point. Some of the points where we think the company needs improvement is first on the digital side. So if you look at the looking part and the contact the top three, we think that AGM is not really on the top three when you look at on Google for Boston. Also, talking to Ed a little bit further, we see some problems with the whole scheduling part and the budgeting. For the second customer journey, it's exactly the same, but instead of doing anything online, we believe that the customer is being referenced through word of mouth, like the company is being referenced through word of mouth, and everything happens on the phone. So the customer gets in contact with Ed, and everything is set up on a phone call. So just having in mind all these issues, let's look at the key gaps. We, as I said before already, we see some problems on the digital side, just setting the budget, scheduling, and all of that. And on the employee side, we think that the company can really improve on that aspect, get some like long-term employees and reliable as well. And then, so now that we know all those issues, we decided to conduct a digital market research. We started with Facebook. We went to Facebook demographics, and then we put the two keywords that we think people that are moving type on Google, which is here on the bottom part. One is moving comfort, and second one is moving company. We noticed that for men, the men who look for the most on this concept are between 25 and 34 years. And for women, the most comes from 35 to 44. What about, whether they are married or not? So from all this data, 49% are married and 61% went to college. This is a trend that we found on Google. So the place of Springfield and Holyoke, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that one right, and Boston, Massachusetts are the ones who are looking for the most. On a daily average, we get some around like 75 to 100 searches on moving. And the most relatable queries are all my sons, which is a competitor, and this one, Boston Moving Permit. So with all this information, we created a bio persona. You might be wondering, why are we creating one? So this is going to be really important for us to further create marketing in the future and to basically come up with like a response to all the issues that we have identified. This is Rachel Green. She is doing her master's. She's a product manager, and she is really interested into getting a bigger house. She wants to find a company that she can trust, which we think that affordable green movers are really good at. And she also wants to find a company that is adaptable to her schedule. So the three possible solutions that we came up with, the first one is digital. We think that that's where the main problem is, and that's one of the main things that is keeping the company from going. The second one, we want to work on the employee retention side. And the third one, we want to create a more automatization for the company in terms of creating schedules, talking to Ed, and then we does creating a reduction on the interaction between customer and employee, but maximizing utility for them. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was really good. Are you any of you guys surprised how much we can learn in like 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Always awesome. That was great, guys. Thank you so much. Ed, I'll give you the floor, my friend. What are your thoughts on what the team's done so far, and have they identified the right, strengths and weaknesses and maybe even potential solutions so far?
Yeah, I think that you guys have definitely listened to, and I've listened and given you back what you were looking for, as far as what our weaknesses and strengths are, as far as where we are and we would like to be. And until we do that, we can't really get over the hump. So the things that he came up are pretty accurate. So I think that I can, give it a thumbs up and see what kind of things we can put together. I think everything looked pretty promising, to say the least.
Good. Ed, I gotta ask. So with the research that they found, for example, they said that Springfield, Holyoke, and Boston were the two places that were searching for moving the most. How much do you service those areas, or is your focus more on different areas?
We focus more on different. I mean, we don't have one specific location because in Massachusetts it's pretty big. So you can't really, focus on one area and then distract yourself from the local here where we stay. We're more towards Boston and like Framingham, but that's good information to know, obviously. So I think by fixing the things that we need to fix, once those things are in place and things are running smoothly, everything has to move quick. So then we can focus on a target area that, he has, like, for example, he identified. So I think that can be done. For sure. I think that can all be completed.
Okay, great. Anybody else have any questions or comments before I ask one more? No. So one of the things that I also noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that you have, I think we talked about the potential of creating and implementing like a scheduling tool on your website, and like an automatic, like a quote sort of thing right now. So my question for the team is, like, with all of those, like you said that you found like the most commonly searched for companies, like on their website, do they have like that scheduling tool? Do they have those sort of quotes?
They do. So that's one of the things that we really want to bring to this company. The fact that, they have the whole, so once you sign in, you can see the schedule for the company, and then you can also select the type of products that, or items that you have at home. So you can get a rough estimate of it. And this is something we want to bring to this company.
Right, fantastic. And Ed, how do you do your scheduling right now? Like, is it all manual? Is it all are they all calling in?
Well, they don't all call in. A lot of website traffic comes in. We have a general template that we, send out once we receive a request. So that kind of, we don't have to use repetitive forwarding. It's just like a template. You just copy and send it, and then you send an email back. But I think that the fact that we wait, some things we can get right back to. Some things we have to wait until the end of the day to be able to send that out, because obviously, you need time to sit down and really takes you away from other things that otherwise, wouldn't want to.
I think that's something that could be interesting and potentially useful is if the team, and I don't know, maybe you've already done this, but sort of mapping out the entire process of like when somebody goes on the website to the time like they book a job, like what are those in terms of like how Ed like sends them a quote or receipt, like receives a request from them, sends them something, has a follow-up call to book it, and how they book it, like that whole sort of process might help you in that internal digitization of the company.
Yes, I agree 100%. I think that will remove that headache. I think if it can be automated, then it's just basically keeping an eye on it and reviewing at the end of the day. So it could definitely set you apart, set us apart when it comes to that. And that's one of the, if not the most important thing, because you have to attract new customers. You don't get new customers, you don't, you know, what do you do after you finish that job? And then you have to keep constant customers coming in. That's how you stay in business.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to do. Like we noticed with one of our competitors, basically we put the email and the name, and then we got a phone call in like 5 minutes.
That's crazy.
So yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Perfect. So awesome. I think we've got some next steps for you guys already. So that's great to hear. So we are going to have to move on to the next team. So thank you to Andre and your team.
Thank you, Andre. Appreciate it.
And Ed, thank you so much. I know you're a busy guy, so thank you for so much for connecting and being here and able to give feedback and whatnot. Alrighty. So the next team we've got up is a team from New England Audio. So we're going to have Rima, Nandini, and Priyam present next. So if one of you guys want to share your screen.
Yeah, I'll share it.
That would be fantastic. And Star, I got your message. I'm going to check on Jimmy.
Okay.
Val, you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. You're always ready. Alrighty. Just put it in presentation mode and on the bottom right there, just right close to the minus. Yeah, that little.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. There we go. Awesome. Alrighty. Whenever you guys are ready.
Yeah, so our client is New India Audio Rental, and the owner himself is Saibalya Hyman. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong, but he loves to call it as well. And my team members are Priyam, Nandini, and myself, Rima. So our agenda for today is more about the business, what exactly this business is, and what is the current status, and what are the digital tools as a new audio rental we are using it, and that would be covered by Priyam. And then we have identified a few of the areas which are not working well, and from their persona and a journey map, and the recommendation which will be covered by Nandini. So over to Priyam.
Yeah, thank you, Rima. Okay, so these are the areas where our like Boston, Cambridge, and Malden, Newton, these are the areas where already services have been given and provided, and there are still many areas where the New England Audio Rental has given services and are prone to give services more. And the main tagline is "We have it all," because they have it all the equipments. And the company background, the business overview is that yes, thank you, Rima. So the company is about reselling and rentals. They rent equipments and like staging. They do staging, lighting, audio equipments, DJ equipments, LCDs, projector screens, and the markets are the DJs market. And surprisingly, like even weddings in the pandemic era is a good market. Has been a very profitable market. Conferences, school events, Zoom events, live stream is one of the things which has increased in pandemic. And the mode of delivering the services are company truck, employees vehicle, and in-person walking customers. The production of the company is from the manufacturers and the subsidiaries of manufacturers, and the business funding is from the SBA loan, the company credit cards, and some profits after reselling some equipments. Next slide, please, Rima. So the current business status, what's working well. Audio rentals, LCDs, projectors, and screens. These are the things which are working well in the pandemic era. But Zoom also reselling the equipments and DJ equipment, Zoom events, which are not working well. So these are the main priorities of what is working well and what is not working well in the era. And the other, the weddings are good, the conferences are good, and even the in-person walking customers. But we have to focus more on Zoom events, live stream, reselling DJ equipments, why they are not working well. So this is the current business status. And now the current existing digital tools the company has. So the sales like, through social media, there is a website of New England, there is, people meet on Google, they even have a software of TAWK Talk software in the website, and even the marketing one. But still, there is no different LinkedIn account, and there are still many websites and digital tools which we are looking to implement. And also in the delivery part, any audio rental, like this New England audio rental does not leverage any digital tools in delivering its products and services. We have like ERPs, the enterprise resource handling. And but they have some digital tools, like their website is great. They're different sites, their marketing are great, like Yelp and everyone. And in accounting, they have QuickBooks. This is an accounting software, they're outsourcing it, but it's a very efficient thing. And so also we want to use digital networks to find potential employees. So there are some digital tools which are lacking, and there are some good. So now Nandini will take over from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyam. So let's take a look at the persona of a typical customer who rents DJ equipment from New England. DJ Jules is 36 years old and he has a bachelor's degree. He works full-time at the store from 9 to 5. And since he loves music, he also works at Radio 94.5. And he also does part-time DJ work for weddings and other events. He has two main concerns and pain points. The first one is that having his own DJ equipment is going to be really costly for him. And secondly, he fears that the demand for DJ is going to decline post the pandemic. He needs updated equipment for all events, and he wants to be competitive in the wedding market in particular. That's a little brief about his persona. Let's take a look at his journey map. Over to the next slide, Rima. So now DJ Jules is at home and he gets a call to be DJ for a show, but his pain point is that he does not have any equipment with him, and that pain point is pretty strong. So he then figures out which equipment he requires to do the show, and he decides that he needs a control, a speaker, and a microphone. His concern at this stage is the cost to rent the equipment, but the intensity of the stage is just moderate. He then contacts New England and inquires about the required equipment. His pain point now is also the cost to rent and negotiating an affordable price. And this is a pretty strong pain point. New England and DJ Jules finally reaches an agreement, and they arrange for the delivery of the equipment at the desired location on the day of the show. The pain point is still the cost, but this is pretty moderate intensity. Finally, on the day of the event, the equipment is delivered to the site and it is signed by DJ Jules. The pain point is the payment procedures, and it's of moderate intensity. Lastly, after the show, New England sends a technician to return the equipment to the office, and the pain point is handling of the equipment with care. It is the least intensity throughout the entire journey map. So that brings us to the final part of our presentation. We identified, Rima, the next slide, thank you. So we identified some gaps in the digital audit. And so we came up with three main recommendations. The first one is relating to marketing and sales. New England already has a market presence currently, but in order to reach a wider audience, we think investing in using paid tools like email advertising, social media advertising, and having a customer relationship management software is going to be really beneficial for them. And so would having an e-commerce solution on the website, on the company's website, where customers can have the entire sales process carried out online and then just have the products delivered to their convenient location. And the business also currently does not have a business LinkedIn profile. So they should think about having one. And secondly, the business uses QuickBooks for its accounting tasks, but it would be more useful if it's a cloud-based version. So that you can digitally integrate the invoices and payments, and this will save time, cost, and effort. And the third recommendation will be talked by Priyam. So
Yeah, it's
over to
new.
Priyam.
Thank you, Nandini. It's a new offering. I will go fast. I know, Adam. It's just that there are 3 offerings that residential AV integrators, as the pandemic, people are, even after post-pandemic, people will be like more prone to shift their work to home. So residential AV integrators would be a good offering, and also online education training for OV professionals, which has seen a huge climb in this pandemic area. And remote simultaneous interpretation means the process of translating speech from one language and another in the real time. So post-pandemic, we have to adapt.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, thank you. We have to adapt in the pandemic. So the motion, we have to adapt in this pandemic. We have to integrate some IT to our IT system. For example, AV and IT mixture of integration where there is a simultaneous interpretation. There is motioning and animation, which is gone. So integrating all of these things will be profitable for the business, even in the pandemic and after post-pandemic. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And these recommendations would include additional staff. So they need to be trained to use digital tools.
Yes.
So that should be a highlight as well. So that brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. And so I see you guys are getting into a little bit of the new offerings already. So that's something that we'll definitely get into, not next week, but the week after, is that new offering part. So you guys are already thinking of ideas, which is good. But we'll save that stuff for about a week and a half from now. Val, I want to get your initial thoughts.
No, I think it was great. I think the team is doing awesome. They came up with a lot of good ideas in terms of how we can expand or how we can currently pivot in this pandemic, and also thinking about post-pandemic. So I think there was a lot of good information there. It was good to see it, out completely as a PowerPoint. You know what I mean? Because we were going through it, it's like, okay, but now seeing it, it's like, okay, now it's coming together. Got it.
Thank you. Thank you.
One comment. So one comment I definitely want to make. I mean, with this program, we very typically see student teams recommending like email lists or social media or CRM platform and whatnot. And for everybody, as we move on as we move further and further into this program, we're gonna go from like what the idea is in terms, and then transition to how we need to do it. And a lot of times what we find is with all of those things, it takes a lot of time, effort, discipline in order to maintain all of these things. And for somebody like Val, he's a one-man show. It's just him, right? So we really got to think about how much time he would have in order to invest into these things. And if he doesn't have all of the time to invest into like email marketing, for example, is there an affordable solution where we could actually bring somebody in to help him with that? Because Val, I don't know if that's your expertise in email marketing or anything like that, but
no.
Right. So there's going to be a big learning curve. Plus, then it's going to take a lot of attention, right? So not saying that it's a good or bad idea at the moment. I'm just saying we do think more granularly as well as we move into this further into this program, to think about how it needs to happen and what the step-by-step is, so that we can make sure that we're giving solutions to the business owners that they can use after the program as well. Gotcha. Hey, HP.
Hi guys, how are you?
So for everybody on the call, HP is the managing director of IXL Center. So he's just going to be jumping around to the different groups and watching some of the presentations and giving us comments when. Go ahead, HP.
Yeah, but just high level, guys. First, thank you for joining the program, and the clients also. From the clients, demand excellence from the teams. Demand, I need more, I need better. And the more you demand, the more people rise to the challenge, of course. So if you're an owner of a company, ask for what's the insight, what's interesting, what can I do, what's a few things I can do that can make a big difference. Don't tell me a lot of things to do to make a difference. The few things that move the needle, and work with that. But for the teams over here, it really is what you put in is what you get out. And my whole experience as a management consultant is don't stop thinking, don't stop pushing, keep on turning rocks over, look under every rock, look under everything. And the more you dig and the more you look, the more you're going to get insights. And the more insights you get, the better recommendations you'll be able to provide to the teams. But this will be a lifetime project for everybody. So good luck with that. If you have any questions or anything else, I'll be happy to just make a comment or respond to anything.
Great.
I hope the software is working for you guys. I hope the coaching is working from Adam. And I hope the design of Monday morning teaching, Friday show and tell, Wednesday or somewhere in that coaching is a system working well for you.
Fantastic. Thank you, HP. I think it's working well so far. We've got some good results already this week. So looking forward to the last two presentations. So let's move over to the next team. Val, any last comments before we move on?
Nope, that's it. Nope, just looking forward to Monday. Monday's powwow with the team.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, team, for the presentation. So next we've got Jimmy here. So are you guys okay to go next then? Fantastic. All right. So we're going to do Star, Jimmy, and Clara from Clarifying Coaching. So when do you guys want to share your screen?
I think Jimmy's going to share his screen.
Okay. Can you see it?
I don't see the presentation. I see like a background.
Yeah, I see the background.
Sorry.
Can I cut you guys off for 1 second? I'm so sorry.
Sure.
Greg had messaged me saying that he's got to drop off at 1 p.m. And so can we do his team's presentation first before we do yours? He's got to jump off. He's got a hard stop right at 1, and I know we got started a little late, so I just want to make sure that we're able to fit his presentation in as well.
Sure, that's fine with me.
Yeah. All right. And
yeah.
The background. Awesome. So Greg, Mara, do you guys one of you guys want to share your screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just need to stop share on the other end.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Okay,
Perfect. There we go.
Okay.
Awesome. And now for Greg and Mara, their client Leonard unfortunately could not make it to this presentation. So we're going to be the ones giving feedback and asking questions. So you guys be ready with a question, all right? All right.
So, hello, everyone. We are the consulting team, group 4 from Suffolk. We are consulting for Consciously Exposed. So just a quick agenda. We'll introduce ourselves, the business overview, current state of the business, any digital gaps, and then kind of go into one of our personas, explain the journey and potential solutions. So this is our team, Courtney Brooks, myself, and Greg, who's presenting today. So business overview, Consciously Exposed is a consultant agency that seeks to build a society of happiness by leveraging creative arts and of course consultancy to foster organizational and social change. So currently they deliver their services virtually. Prior to the pandemic, they did have the in-person workshops. They offer specifically, they do have a variety of offerings, but the main offerings are creative arts workshop and business innovation workshops. As well, our client Leonard has a poetry book that he also sells. So this, all of the offerings can be found, the majority of them can be found on their website. The book can be found through Amazon, and they engage in social media branding and email marketing at this point to try to engage new clients. So the market, they have HR professionals, students and professors. Like we mentioned before, they were mostly during prior to the pandemic, where they were seeing themselves in person, and students are the main market. And their business model, it involves partnerships with organizations like Fairmont Innovation Lab, Boston Impact. They've gotten some city grants and a SBA loan. So the current state of the business, like I just mentioned, prior to the pandemic, they were offering all of these workshops in person. But unfortunately, going into a digital sphere, it's been a little difficult to find clients and get them to attend the creative arts workshop and the business innovation workshop. So what hasn't been working well is just pulling in the customers, using the website to gain those customers, as well as the HR professionals. However, their social media branding, email marketing, the poetry book sales, that's all been working well. Some of their weaknesses that we'll discuss a little bit more that would help them would be in the website, and potentially focusing on how to attract the HR professionals. Digital use. So of course, they're using the social media. They are using some ads, so paid tools. They're delivering the workshops, the ones that they've been able to put together through Zoom. Some of their operations processes are digital, but not all, and as well as like their accounting, spreadsheet, and e-banking. And so some digital opportunities that we're seeing is improving the sales by investing in e-commerce solution for the website, focusing a lot more on the digital advertisements, especially in social media. And then potentially for their accountant, moving into some sort of like digital invoicing. And Greg will talk a little bit about the buyer persona.
So one of the buyer personas that we had for our business was college student Brad. So just an overview of Brad's background. He has a high education level, low disposable income. He has a busy schedule. He's about mid-20s, and he is having a hard time finding a place he can deal with stress and express his creative abilities. So some of Brad's daily activities that he does is attending on-campus art events or browsing Google reviews for different art workshops. Brad's goals are getting involved with civic engagement, advocacy legislation, and volunteering. He also wants to work on his mindfulness as well. Brad's really looking for an outlet for his artistic creativity, learning more about cultural intelligence and psychological safety. And some of his pain points is dealing with stress, having a low budget, and just not being able to express himself in a safe place. So for Brad's journey, for his first interaction, he meets our client at a on-campus arts workshop. That's when they get to talking about consciously exposed in the different aspects of the business. In terms of the next step, it's communication channels established. So they exchanged email addresses, and Brad is added to the email marketing distribution list. And that way we can connect with him and we can express different opportunities, as well as like monthly highlights or motivation. So that way that he knows what's going on in the area in terms of different artistic events that he can express himself and meet like-minded individuals. And then for the next step, he registers for creative arts workshops, so that there he is able to express his creative abilities in a safe space. He's able to meet other individuals with similar interests, and he is able to attend events in his area, and he's aware of the current events that he has access to. And then he enjoys his experience in the creative arts workshop, and he becomes a brand advocate, so that way he can share his perspective and his experience with others, friends, family, other people in the community, so that way that they can get involved with Consciously Exposed in the different workshops that are being offered there as well. And some of the recommendations that we came up with was condensing the website to clearly articulate what the product offering and services are that are being offered by Consciously Exposed. And then we wanted to prioritize the poetry book on the website to foster sales and attract potential customers, and incorporate direct links for purchase on the website to work on the e-commerce in terms of sales. That was a digital gap that we did identify earlier. And then create training packages for creative arts workshops and business innovation workshops. So we were thinking in terms of possible virtual training modules that are asynchronous, where consumers can get certifications for completing different steps or different programs, and then online webinars that they're able to attend as well, especially now during the pandemic. Thank you.
Great, thank you to Greg and Mara, and to obviously Courtney, who wasn't able to make it to the presentation today. One of the questions that I had was about the training packages for the workshop. So right now on his website, if somebody like, or just maybe it's not through his website, but how does somebody go about booking like a training or like one of his workshops right now? How does that happen?
So they use the social media marketing and like are able to contact Leonard directly. So either the social media marketing or the website offers the contact information. But what we're thinking is like adding that next level where specifically like if we wanted to target like the HR professionals, which we think like that would be the most beneficial for, like that they have those links on the website if they want to offer the trainings that way, instead of like a workshop that Leonard could facilitate himself directly.
Right. Okay. And like you're picturing like the different packages for the workshops like right on the website itself. Perfect. Right.
Yes.
Correct. So is there currently on the website, like, is his value proposition for those workshops like very, very clear? Or is it kind of, you're just kind of not sure what's being offered?
Yeah, I think that also, you know, going to that first recommendation, we do think that it needs a little bit more like to be more condensed. There's a lot of offerings, but specifically like depending on who the persona is, we personally like wouldn't know like this could be for me. Right. Just like looking at it from an outside perspective. So we think that definitely condensing it and tailoring it to the different personas is necessary before we get to the part where we could potentially add the trainings. Yeah,
no, that makes a lot of sense. Does anybody else have a question before I keep going? Any other comments from anybody else? No. So yeah, that's where I was going next in terms of trying to understand, like for the business innovation workshops, for example, like who are his like top 3 customers for those business innovation workshops, and how do we tailor the messaging on the website so it's super clear and like the value proposition matches their pain point, right? And that's something that I'm interested in seeing how that comes out in the journey map that you sort of create for that.
Yes, and we did create a second persona, but like for the sake of time, we didn't include it in this. But I think that would definitely tie more into like for the HR professionals. I think that like something on the beginning, like just like kind of clear, specifying like you know like. So Leonard talks a lot about like diversity and inclusion and like creating a safe space, particularly for the HR professionals, like clarifying like I probably can't like come up with it off the top of my mind, but some sentence that says like like we like this all like encompassing workshop that helps you to get like these 3 points. Yeah. And you can get the certification, but we need that clarity at the beginning of the website.
Absolutely. And I think my piece of advice for like moving forward would be So for like the HR professional, was that the creative arts workshop or is that the business innovation workshop?
The business innovation workshop, although I know Leonard had mentioned kind of both, because there's that art piece that he also wants to bring into the workspace.
Yeah, and the reason I'm focusing more on the workshops rather than like the book, for example, because I mean, the book's great and it's a great marketing piece, but like workshops are thousands of dollars each. So we focus on that and we get that, you know, getting those booked. I know that there are other professionals in our cohort right now that do some sort of workshops, and it's, you know, a few $1,000s each time. So drive up some revenue. So my piece of advice for that would be to like build out a persona for the HR professional specifically. And if there is another main customer for business innovation workshops, build out a persona as well and try to get, you know, a couple interviews for each one from Leonard. That way you can interview them, and because we have an idea of what their persona is and what their journey map looks like, but those interviews are going to validate what we have, and they're going to allow us to better understand them, and then we can tailor the value proposition for the business innovation to like better tailor it to like the current HR professional and what their current pain points are based on COVID and all that sort of stuff. So
yes, thank you.
Awesome. Any other comments from anybody else before we move on to the last presentation? No. All righty. I think we're good. So Star, Jimmy, and Clara, you guys all here? Awesome.
Yeah, we are.
Awesome. Sorry for jumping in there. I totally last second remembered that Greg needed to drop off at a specific time. So, all right.
Okay.
Whenever you guys are ready, I'll start the 7-minute timer.
Excellent. Morning, everyone. We are a group based on Starny Adams and Jimmy Arias. We are presenting Clarifying Coaching Certification Institute. Our agenda for today, next slides, please. Start. Our agenda for today, we will introduce something about the business. What is the business situation right now, some strengths and weaknesses. We'll present the journey maps and some preliminary recommendations about our research at this point. Next, please. Thank you. Her owner is Clara Angelina Diaz. Clara Angelina, I will talk about the general topics of her business. The company provides coaching certifications, small business mentoring, individual and group coaching, corporate retreats, and speaking engagement for female leaders and aspiring leaders. It got established in 2010 with 3 employees in Boston metro area. Some important points about the company we have to take a look for example, the marketplace that her business is trying to get is high ambition women, attorneys and coaches or aspiring coaches, these kind of people that want to introduce themselves in this kind of environment, this kind of business, due to there are a lot of people that need some kind of message that gives some kind of motivation based on the tools that they have in some qualities, personal qualities about to be a mentor, to be a coach. For example, they offers her business over the professional coaching certification training, a women's leadership coaching, positive intelligence course, and in a book that named Create Your Best Year. Some kind of business model, or the business model for this business is that people can buy this service at the web. She has a website in which the people can get these kind of services, and people can subscribe by social media for these services. There are some particular things that I would like to talk about because it's very important for the next step in this presentation. Next, please. Start. Okay, so some important things, clarifying CCI, how to leverage digital tools to run business, but has identified there is little room for improvement around operations, sorry, about marketing, delivery, and some sales. For example, right now in sales, she has an e-commerce solution on the website. By marketing, she has an on-page social media. And about the delivery, relying on digital tools for a significant portion of the product or services delivery. And the operations environment or the operations issues have a specialized software for some processes, for example, for payment, for scheduling, and for inventory. The priority for digital solutions, we try to understand sales, specializing, we have to invest in specialized digital marketplaces, for example. In marketing, we try to identify that it could be important to invest using paid tools, for example, emails, social media, CRM, etc. And for delivery, maybe we could need to invest using digital enabled delivery for all businesses. Next slide, please. The company obviously was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, facing challenges in their relocation, delivery, and product, but holding on to strengths on their unique. She has working well in 3 specific topics: women leadership coaching, engaging customer in coach dynamic, and its local services. Not working well, obviously corporate retreats because of the pandemic, create your best year from these books, and certified coaching network. That is the most important thing at this point. Next.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jimmy. What we're going to do now is just talk a little bit about one of the customer personas that we developed, and also map a journey for her as well. So we want you guys to meet Leona, who is a valued customer of Clara's. She's a little bit older than the typical client, but she really enjoys being around like-minded people who are really trying to make their mark in the world. She spends a lot of time caring for an autistic daughter. She volunteers extensively in the community, and she spends a lot of time developing her own business, which is being a full-time career coach. So she's married, she's African-American, and she has highly educated. She has a master's degree in education. So one of the pain points, some of the pain points that she has experienced running her business is that she's really trying to boost the revenue so that she can earn a surplus. Secondly, she knows that social marketing is really important, but it's not her strong suit. She's reached out to consultants, and they are estimating $7,000 to $8,000 for providing this service to her. Another thing is some of the referrals that she first got have dried up over time. And lastly, lack of funding. Some of the influencers besides Clara is a group of moms that are starting their own businesses. Leona is a member of the Career Coaches Consortium out of Northeastern University, and she's also a member of the Network for Women in Business based out of New York. So we're just looking at how this relationship evolves in terms of running her own business. We thought it was important to highlight her journey as trying to be a full-time coach. So she launches the business, she has the referrals, but then it dries up after 1 year. She has to return to a corporate job. She restarts her business, and that's where she links up with Clara to take her coaching certification class. But now she needs ongoing support and guidance that this coaching network that Clara is offering can provide. So what are some of the ways that we can approach these customers like Leona who really want to remain involved and tied in with the business? So Clara's done a great job with already creating digital content. She's on Instagram, she's on YouTube, etc. But one thing that we think is maybe using something like Fiverr, where she could work with a freelance video person who can come up with these snappy videos that can tease solutions to very specific pain points that the customers are experiencing. Another thing that Clara is really great at is trying to find out what it is that people will be interested in. So we encourage her to continue with that, particularly with this coaches network, using Google Forms to find out specifically what types of monthly workshops will be useful for the clients who are super busy and really need to get value out of the offering. Lastly, we're thinking a free mini course that Clara could do maybe online, right? She's a known quantity in the area of Boston, but if she wants to maybe try and attract people outside of that market, it might be helpful for them to just have like a mini course. And then we would combine this with like a search engine optimization tool to increase the visibility, right? Because she is already creating some really good content. So with that, we'll end it here and open it up to questions.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for the presentation. So Clara, you're here. I'll open it up to you first to provide some comments.
Well, thank you so much, Star and Jimmy, for putting the presentation together first and foremost. These are definitely, like your recommendations around creating more video, using the Google Forms to make sure that I capture the needs of my customers in real time. And creating a free mini course. These are all things that I have thought about, which is great because it's it's validating. What I guess if I have to, because I am, I have such a short amount of time and staff. If you had to recommend, from those three, one that would that you feel could make the most impact, that you maybe I can focus on, working on tomorrow. Which one of those three would you say?
Sorry.
Jamie, did you hear that?
No, so I will know what you think about.
Oh, no worries. I mean, I think we would, push that onto you, but I mean, I really think knowing that you're busy, knowing you see your beautiful baby right there. One thing that might be helpful is the freelance and Fiverr, right? Someone who could already take the content that you already have, almost do like a highlight reel. And really, because people's attention span is so short these days. Like I was on Instagram looking at some of your lives that were up there. And, I think 8 minutes is not long, but for a lot of people, they want something, they want it in 45 seconds. And so you already have a lot of great content. So why not take something and piece it together so that it's like memorable, snappy, and then people feel like, wow, I need Clara, I need to take this course. I need to be her client.
Yeah. So let me just make sure I understand what you're saying, right? So it's like, if I hire someone to take the content that I already have, right, and make shorter kind of digestible pieces. Mm-hmm. And then so putting that out into social media, that then leads them to this mini course.
So that could be one thing. Oh, Adam, if you want to jump in, but people who do this, like the videos, like they're really talented at this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Claire, one thing, I mean, you're saying pick one of them. And I know it's difficult, but I honestly think that the videos and the freebie would actually be a pretty good combination. The reason for that is one, like Sarah saying, like the video, like people want to consume things in 5 seconds. Like we have the attention span of goldfish now with social media, unfortunately. And so those videos could be interesting. And if you use those videos to like kind of push them to like a little landing page or push them to the website, and then a pop up and it's just like, hey, download this free thing. And it doesn't even have to be anything crazy. Like you don't have, maybe it's not a course. Maybe it's just like a quick, like, hey, here's like a morning gratitude journal or something like that. Here's something that you can get started in the morning, like that you can use in the morning to get your day started off right, to like align your goals. Something like that. It could be like a free little, downloadable ebook or a journal or something along those lines. I don't know what type of, exactly what type of resources you already have created, but I wouldn't like reinvent the wheel. I would grab something that is like your bread and butter and basically use that.
Right. Okay. I hear what you guys are saying, right? I'm just trying to picture it in my mind. Because I have a free offering on my site, on my pop-up. that pop-up. So I'm wondering, it's like, if you want, should I be creating something additional to that, or should I be like, optimizing that?
Sounds like maybe optimizing that since it's already there. And then I also checked out your YouTube videos, but just pushing people to it. And some of them are a few minutes. So yeah, you're busy. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, but just something like literally my niece, she was at a barbecue, someone made a video, he had music and all these different effects. And I thought, wow, like it was crazy. They were literally just having a barbecue and eating, but the way he did the video, and it made me think of you, that like you already have this great content.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, I'm also thinking my last thought about that, Clara, in terms of like you already have like that little freebie. I wonder how much that matches up with like an existing pain point of your customers, right? And I don't know if you changed that freebie like during COVID, or if it's been the same for 5 years. I have no idea, but
Yeah.
You might want to think about how that matches up to like an existing pain point that the people have.
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, one last question is, and I mean, we can talk about more about this on Wednesday, but like, that what you said, that's a great point, Adam. Like, I haven't really changed the freebie, right? So based on that customer persona, that person that you guys interviewed, like, what would you say? Like, it sounds to me like her biggest pain point is, the ongoing like low cost marketing and and getting more business, that so she can be profitable. It sounds like that's her main pain point. So it's like, should I be creating something around that, or
well, speaking to Leona, it seemed like her major pain point, and then was the first one she raised, was the social media. She said, she can't get a handle on it, and just $8,000 was just too much for her to spend without knowing what the results would be. And so when you were mentioning the monthly masterminds, it's really just something that like useful, actionable, that she can take away, that like, and she could tell her friends, like, I went to this workshop with Clara, and either Clara or had an expert and could tell me, and I saved myself, I don't know, $7,000.
Did you guys get to talk to anybody else?
Yes, Jimmy did.
Sorry, what is that?
Did you get to talk to any of the other coaches?
And no, before.
You talked to Maciel, Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
We were told to present one persona here.
Yeah. I talked with her. She talked about something like, for example, she's looking for a new opportunity to job, but at this time it's very difficult due to she works at a hospital. His journey is very, very extensive. And one of the things that he was talking about was that it's very important for her to get another income opportunity, but it's difficult to think about that in this role that she has. Yeah. So thinking about this and thinking about the opportunity that we identify in your business, for example, the referrals that we have been talking about this week, we think about this kind of promotion that you can take from this kind of little videos, right? And based on that, you can these people that can refer your job between this network, it could help to you to get the most from these people that is in this important network. That's the reason why we understand this way from these people, this way to try to help to get the most from this network.
Right. So, okay, just to make sure I heard you correctly, when you spoke to Maciel, she said that she's struggling to quit her job at the hospital to become a full-time coach.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the principle.
So her pain point is to kind of to get support on how to be able to do that.
Yeah. So it could be support on how to do that. It could be like the branding and visibility online, right? And so anything that's a freebie that is not giving away everything, but something that teases their attention could definitely be useful to attract them a little bit more. So we are going to have to wrap up here just because it's 1:20 already. I know I took more of your guys' time today, and I apologize for the breakout rooms giving us some technical difficulties, but really, like, through everything, there were three main things that I heard that I want you guys to think about moving forward. One is to keep things simple, right? We're trying to improve the business as quickly as possible, and we need to do it in bite-sized pieces. A lot of these business owners, like Val and Clara, like, it's only them. they only have so much time. They only have so much that they can do in any given day. I mean, Clara's here with her 1.5-year-old beautiful baby right now, right? So, so definitely keep it simple. Number two is, what is it that what is it that your client can do Monday morning to get started, right? Think about it in as much, and that goes along with the simplicity, but think about it in terms of, if I give you something and you don't know what the next step is, then I haven't made it simple enough, right? We need to try and focus down on that. And the third thing is drive your recommendations from the interviews that you conduct and match them with the pain points, because as we're sort of having this last conversation with Clara, that's where a lot of this is going to come from, right? Trying to really understand, because your main customers, for example, their pain points might have changed because of COVID, right? And now you need to adjust how you're communicating with them so that we can actually meet their new pain points and bring them and try to convert them, right? The same with Leonard's business, Consciously Exposed. Maybe his value proposition isn't quite clear on his website, and it needs to be fit with the people that he's trying to actually service and attract, right? So do those interviews and really drive the recommendations towards that link up with the pain points.
Okay.
Alrighty. So that's all I've got for you guys. So you guys have a fantastic weekend for the students. I'll see you on Monday at our training session at 10 a.m. And for Val and Clara, we'll send you a video next Monday with an overview of what we're going to be doing next week.
Good. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Thank you. All right, guys. Have a good afternoon.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.